What do you want to talk about today?
You know what? Why don't we change things up? Well,
Okay.
let's take a question from our audience.
Oh, great idea.
And see, anybody here
Yeah. Hey, should you be friends with your ex?
Ooh, I don't know if I'm ready for that one. I don't know if you guys all heard, but the question is, should you be friends with your ex?
Stay tuned. We have something good for you.
Mike, have you been friends with your ex or any of your exes?
Actually, I have. After a certain amount of time, and you know what? I think.
That's really mature.
Well, I wasn't at 1st. I'll tell you that right now. But you know what? In due time, I believe that after a long time, after time of just forgiveness, grieving, and just thinking about what
Very
happened,
important.
you know, that you grow from it, you learn from it, and I had to learn to forgive myself and then forgive my ex on what happened and why it fell apart, and that was the healing process for me. That worked for me in order to become friends with her.
So it sounds like you're on a middle ground. There is no, in your mind, is there a black and white rule? It's either a no or it's a yes. It sounds like it's a case by case basis.
Yeah, because
Okay.
there's, I've dated someone, I've dated a couple of ladies that were just like, and I couldn't do it. What about you? Enough about me.
Okay, sure. Yes, I am friends with my ex-husband.
Hey.
I was married once, and because of him, I've really become part of the woman that I am today. And yes, we are friends, and that's because we still respect each other, and we share a child, and it's not toxic.
It's not toxic.
Yeah, and so with other exes, no, I decided not to be friends. With a few, yes, but we're not close friends.
Right.
I might hear from them once or twice a year, but it really is a case-by-case basis. That's my
Agreed.
answer. That
Agreed.
really is, and if your relationship did not prove to have sorry. If your relationship didn't
That's how
prove,
toxic it was.
if your relationship didn't prove to have the respect and the trust and all the imperative things that you really need to be successful, or if it's even toxic, that's probably a good reason not to be friends with your ex. What do you think?
That negative energy, that sense of how it broke up in the first place. If it was like abusive, if it was just like detrimental to your health, it wasn't healthy at all, mind, body, and soul, then I don't see why I would still have that person in my life.
I agree.
And that was the reason why there's some that, I just don't deal with because it's not conducive to my lifestyle now. And so I parted ways with them, and it's okay. There's some people you just need to cut loose.
And when you really come to that decision, first step, I always think it's really important to move into your new awakening. Yes. Make sure that you both know why you've broken up.
Yeah.
You have some confirmations to definitely get closure. Really, really important. You process the loss, like you said. That's also very, very imperative to move forward. You've had time to calibrate.
Ooh. Okay.
Really, what does that mean? And it's not always an exact time duration. It could be a few weeks. It could be a few months. For some, it's even a few years.
Yeah.
But that's what it takes. So really time to prepare for the loss,
Right.
go through the transition, and know that it's required to move forward and to really heal and mourn the relationship.
I do want to say something though. And I think a lot of our fans, well, you guys can probably attest to this now, is that there's going to be times where a long time elapsed and you haven't spoken to your ex, and then randomly
Yes.
you get a message.
Yes.
Or a phone call, a missed call, or a voicemail, or an email, whatever.
That's hard.
Out of the blue.
That's really, really hard.
Emotions.
Yes.
What do you do with it?
Well, you've got to manage them. And all the more reason that when you have to have a hard break, or if you decide to be friends, which is also fine, first thing that I would recommend is, can you handle the new emotional and physical steps to understand that those things aren't going to be coming back? Okay, so if you can really understand what it's like to be on a platonic level, you could possibly be friends.
Right.
But that really requires an emotional adjustment, a physical adjustment. Really, it does. And the understanding of really what that platonic status really means for the both of you. And if that's healthy.
I want to add something.
Yes.
I want to also have people be aware that things, majority of the time, aren't going to go back to how they were.
Oh, definitely. And they shouldn't.
And it's
Hence,
a change.
Yeah, hence the
right?
reason why you probably made the mutual decision or not.
Right.
And if it wasn't a mutual decision, then one partner really needs to manage their process of the loss differently than the other. And
But
that's really hard.
Don't be resentful. It's the biggest thing. If you choose to, if
Very
you know that the
important.
person is good, they're actually a good-hearted person, and they actually bring value to your life, you got to go through the forgiveness stage. You got to go, get all that just dirty
Yes.
laundry out of your chest and your soul and really heal. If you really want that person to still be in your life in one way or another, you cannot hold anything against them. Don't be resentful, because you got to learn, you got to heal, and you got to grow from this.
I've got a great question though.
Yeah.
Do you think that you can be friends with an ex-lover or with a partner that cheated? I know we talked about this in one of our episodes, the topic of cheating, but do you think that if you mutually end the relationship from a situation like that, can you be friends?
You know what? Yes, but personal experience, I feel as though it's not going to be as close as it was
I agree.
before. That's the thing.
I agree. I think the chances are a little lower,
Right.
and you really want to think about the quality of your friendship, because if the trust and the loyalty and the understanding were negatively impacted, you may not have the basis to even be really healthy friends.
Right.
And in addition to that, living in hope is also not a good reason.
Ooh,
Yeah,
so many
that's
people fall
also
into
not the
that.
best reason, and it's not going to bring somebody back.
No.
Yeah.
I also want to throw out there time and place. Well, so let's say you dated someone when you were young. You were young, naive. You're just trying to figure things out. If you like the person, if you even liked yourself in this relationship, and things didn't work out. But like years go by, 5, 10 years, 15 years go by, and you see that person again. You're in a different space in your life now. You've grown. They've grown. It's okay to have a
It does
conversation.
happen.
Yeah.
It's possible.
You
could
might
run
be
into each
friends.
other. Yeah.
You might be friends after that, because you know what? You're in a different time. You're older. You're wiser, and you have more life experiences to enjoy. So be open-minded, as Anita
I
said.
think that's really important. And if you can, define your new status with one another.
Right.
I mean, really make certain you're friends for the right reasons. Sometimes friends, like me and my ex, you might share children. You might share financial components. You might have similar friends. So you might share work. You might be in a business together.
Right.
So once those things sort out, it's very important to redefine your new status, especially if you want to be friends.
Right. Be an adult about it, though.
Yeah. It's not always easy to do,
It's
but I
not,
think
but-
at the end of the day, the most important takeaway is to be honest
Yes.
and be yourself and be true to yourself. Not only be yourself, but be true to yourself. We all know what the right answer is for each one of us.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, there is no right or wrong. It's a case by case basis.
Agreed. Definitely agree.
So we'd love to hear what you think. Should you be friends with your ex? Are you friends with your ex, and why? We'd love to hear.
Yes.
And we'd love to share more.
Comment below.
Yes.
Let us know.
But Infant, thanks for watching.
We appreciate your love and support.
I'm Anita Kay.
I'm MelodicMic. Until next time. Action.
MelodicMic. Sorry about that, guys.
Cut!